Would you be the jerk for getting upset if your partner said no matter what, when you have kids, they want a paternity test? We'll get into that in a bit, but first, am I the jerk for wanting to take a break from her family talking too much? My girlfriend and I have been dating about 2 months now. I've met most of her family, but today we had dinner at her uncle's place, whom I've not met. Now let me preface this by saying that I'm rather reserved, quiet, and get drained where lots of chit-chat is going on. I know obviously to keep up appearances for others' sake and do my best, of course. So her cousin, who's 18, had a girl over and he told everyone he plans to ask her out later that night. We got there around 4:30 p.m. and start making food a bit after. Now, every time the cousin or the girl were out of the conversation, someone would instantly start asking when he's going to ask her out, how he's going to do it, where, etc. All sorts of questions that I don't see people needing to know. But it might be their family dynamic, so I just took it as that. This went on all night, and then as soon as the cousin and the girl left to take a drive, everyone started looking out the window and trying to look where they're driving to, even though it's pitch black night outside and can only see the city lights. Then the cousin's sister started to track where he is on the Life 360 app, even checking to see when he got out to walk along the beach. All of them were just giving their opinions about the whole young love thing. My girlfriend's uncle was perhaps starting to see everyone was starting to get a bit too much about this and asked if we wanted to play pool. I said yes, sure, and started taking the balls out, but the others were not budging. Basically, people just taking turns asking, "Where is he now?" over and over. I saw the pool game to just kind of break away a bit and asked my girlfriend politely, "Can we maybe do something else for a bit?" To which she asked if I'm getting annoyed, and to which I replied, "Yes, kinda." She got instantly mad and just sat down, continuing as if I'm not there. After a bit, the uncle asked us again to go play pool, as it won't look good if the cousin and the girl is back and everyone else is sitting there, obviously discussing them. We then finally got up and away from the whole thing. Later that night, my girlfriend and I got home and told me, "Can we talk please?" She then told me that she's very unhappy with me for getting annoyed and having the audacity to suggest we go do something else, saying she would never do that while at my family and that I ruined the last bit of the night for her, and then started crying. She said she doesn't know when she'll see them again, but they live like an hour down the road. I don't get it. Said she was so excited to have me there, but if this is how the relationship is going to be, she doesn't know anymore. Honestly, I just feel she reacted way too strongly and didn't try to see it from my perspective. I feel she's out of touch with the whole thing. Am I the jerk for telling her I want to kind of go relax for a bit? Or was I being too selfish? So I think even looking beyond the whole preying on their cousin and watching every move they make thing, which is a bit weird, I feel like OP in another way would still be valid if they said they want to go relax for a bit. I mean, socially being out, especially around a family you don't know, it can be a lot for some people. Should you be ridiculed if you're having a moment where you want to step away for a bit? I mean, it's not like she had to step out with OP. God forbid OP has some feelings and expresses them. In that way, she might be darn right about how the relationship is going to be. PLM56 commented, "Not the jerk. And you know they're doing the same thing to you as soon as you walk out the door, don't you? My best advice is you walk away and don't look back. 2 months is nothing. Think about 20 years of that lack of boundaries with her enabling it every step of the way." Also, hi, I'm Steven, and if you guys enjoy getting to decide whether or not all of these people are jerks, it would be amazing if you left a like or left a review if you're listening to my podcast. Our next story is, am I the jerk for not telling my roommate that her mystery gifts are actually from our landlord? I, 26-year-old female, live with my roommate, 24-year-old female, in this decent apartment we've been renting for about 8 months. The rent's pretty reasonable, which helps, since I'm trying to keep some money saved up for emergencies. Anyway, Sarah keeps getting these random gifts left outside our door. Like really nice stuff, too. Fancy chocolates, flowers, even an expensive-looking scarf last week. She's been convinced it's this guy from her work who she thinks has a crush on her, and honestly, she's been kind of giddy about the whole thing. Here's where it gets weird, though. Last month, I was coming back from grocery shopping and I saw our landlord, Mr. Chen, leaving one of those gift bags by our door. When I asked him about it, he told me that he got lucky this week at some gambling website and now he's basically looking to give back to the community, which low-key didn't sound bad. I've been debating whether to tell her for weeks now. On one hand, it's super creepy and she should probably know. On the other hand, she seems genuinely happy about the mystery admirer thing, and I don't want to ruin that for her. Plus, we've got a good rental situation, and I'm worried about making things awkward with the landlord. My friend thinks I'm being the jerk for not warning Sarah, but honestly, part of me thinks ignorance is bliss here. Like, what if she confronts him and he gets weird about our lease or something? Am I the jerk for keeping this to myself? I think OP is the jerk here because unfortunately they're being incredibly selfish about this situation. They're literally boiling this situation down to, what if it affects me in some way? When the thing is literally their landlord kind of creeping on one of their tenants and leaving them surprise random gifts. But what if this affects me and my rent? Yeah, you know what? Perfectly fine, OP, if you don't tell them in that case, considering it might affect you. Next drummer 9280 commented, "You're the jerk. Would you be okay if some creepy dude 2 times your age was leaving you anonymous gifts and Sarah knew and didn't tell you? Use whatever critical thinking skills you have and really ponder this." Our next story is, am I the jerk for telling my mom she bought me a second flight before I had the chance to check the first one? So, my mom bought me a plane ticket for a family reunion. A few days before my flight, she asked me for my confirmation info. I told her I didn't have it because she booked the flight, but I did have the times she'd sent. She asked me to check my emails. I did. Nothing was there. So I told her, let me call the airline when I get home. Before I even got home, she hurried and bought a new ticket, which was more expensive since it was last minute. She sent me the new confirmation number along with a comment about how the ticket was pricier. Because of that, I sent her the money for the ticket and told her, "Mom, I just wish you had told me before buying so we could have shopped around together and made sure the times worked with the people dropping me off and picking me up." She got upset and sent the money back, saying she doesn't want it. She also told me she was tired of me and my siblings, making it seem like we'd have done much better, as if she's incompetent. I was like, I don't think you're incompetent. I just wanted teamwork since I'm the one flying, and if I had done that to you, you would have been mad at me for not including you. We have some back and forth, and eventually she's just like, I'll keep you in the loop. Fast forward to this morning, I got an email from the airline letting me check in for the original flight. So now I had 2 flights. I asked her in the family group chat which one she wanted me to get on. She said she was confused because she called the airline and they told her I didn't have a ticket, so she bought another one. Here's where I might be the jerk. In the group chat with my immediate family, I said, "Mom, I checked my emails and didn't see anything, so I told you I'd call when I got home. But you bought another ticket before I could." Then this morning, I got an email about the first flight. That made her angry, and she messaged me individually about how stressed she was already and that I'm just trying to make everything her fault. So, am I the jerk for pointing out that she bought me a second ticket before I had the chance to confirm the first one again in the group chat? Edit, just to clarify, since I think it matters, I didn't originally want to go to the reunion. I told my mom that, and she went ahead and bought me a ticket. Normally, I buy my own plane ticket to events. I would ask you guys to leave a comment down below whether or not you think OP is the jerk or not, but that would take too long, I'm afraid, so I went ahead and filed a second not the jerk ruling already myself right now. In all seriousness, I think OP is not the jerk solely because of how frustrating of an experience that would be, where you tell somebody, wait until I get home, I'll call and confirm then, in a situation where you can actually have control over things, only to be met with, too late, ordered another one. Cover character 8179 commented, "Not the jerk. She took it on herself to make the flight arrangements and she messed it up. She's complaining that you're making out like she's incompetent and it's her fault. But the thing is that she was incompetent in this situation, and it is her fault. I almost said everybody sucks here, judging you for being apparently a grown adult and not making your own flight arrangements. I stopped short of that, but definitely you would be the jerk if you don't do so in the future. In general, it's part of adulting, and specifically because you now see how things can get screwed up if you don't." OP responded commenting, "Yeah, I feel like I should clarify that I didn't want to go to the family reunion originally and express that." She responded by buying me a ticket to the reunion anyway and sending flight info to me. Normally, I would have bought the ticket. This next story is, am I the jerk for not wanting to buy a football jersey for my friend's wedding? My 31-year-old female friend, 32-year-old female, is getting married next week with her long-term boyfriend, 36-year-old male, who is also my friend. I'm one of the bridesmaids, and I've helped in everything I can with the whole process. Nevertheless, it's being a little chaotic, the planning, and they're always adding or changing the activities they want us to do at the ceremony and reception. One of the latest is that there will be a traditional part of the reception that lasts an hour, and it's a mix of old music to dance and chill and whatever. They want the guests, specifically the bridesmaids and groomsmen, to wear a football, soccer, jersey to that part of the event. At the beginning, I was cool with it since I'm a big football fan and have a few jerseys myself. But a few weeks ago in a friend's gathering, the groom and the bride said that there will be several teams banned, including mine. I said that I could wear the national team instead, and nope, that's banned too unless it's a specific country. She went as far as saying, it's our wedding. When you're getting married, you can do whatever you want, as a joke. So I decided that I won't be wearing any since it's supposed to be optional. A few days ago, the bride asked me what jersey would I bring and if I already have one of the approved ones. And I said no. I won't be buying a football jersey just to wear for an hour in a party when I'm not even from that team and I'm already spending a lot of money in this wedding. She's mad like it wasn't optional. She's convinced I'm not doing it only because my team is banned and I'm mad about it. My friends are divided. Some say it's okay because they said it was optional. Others think I should cave and buy the jersey to please her. I think the whole situation is so ridiculous that I can't believe it, even when I know how some people get with weddings, but I can't help to wonder, am I the jerk? Now, I don't know anything about football jerseys and like the pricing and like how available it is to get them. I do know about basketball jerseys, and basketball jerseys are certainly not cheap. If it's anywhere even remotely near that, you aren't going to want to spend all that money on a jersey for a team you don't even like, you don't even support, and like OP said, for an hour in the wedding. From what I'm gathering, it's kind of like one of their teams that they want people to wear jerseys for. Could they not like let OP borrow one if that's what they want to do? Quince Bush commented, "Not the jerk, football jerseys aren't cheap. If the soon-to-be want to force their bridal party to wear specific jerseys on top of all the other expenses, they can fork out the money to buy them for the bridal party, and honestly, it sounds like a dopey idea." Our next story is, am I the jerk? My cousin, 29-year-old male, said I, 27-year-old female, disrespected him and his boundary. Conflict started with our 8-year-old cousin. Smart kid, but sometimes moody and stubborn. Kid got super upset after an auntie agreed to order pizza, but ordered it from a different place than he asked. Kid is hangry and emotional, saying his auntie ignored him because no one cares about him, no one loves him, etc. He goes to sit in the next room. Auntie is sitting by the pizza and making fun of him for getting that upset and whining. I was sitting with her telling her that she should stop because he's not going to come to the table and eat if she's making fun of him. Let's not bully him. He's having big feelings. Kids in the other room pouting. My cousin Jam, 29-year-old female, being the big bro cousin, comes over, tries to persuade Johnny to go get himself a slice of pizza, and will defend him if Auntie starts teasing him. This goes on for like 30 minutes, if not an hour. Time passed, it clearly wasn't working, and it was getting old to listen to Jam trying to convince Johnny to get a slice on his own. Kids are just not going to be on their best behavior when they're hungry, plus emotions are high, so I take a slice, pretty small, and walk over to the other room to offer. Jam gets up and asks me not to give Johnny a slice. I say, listen, why not just give him a single slice and let him get up and get the second slice on his own? He is actively getting mocked by his auntie, who's like a second mom to him. He's just getting hungrier and feeling increasingly wronged. Why have a power struggle? One slice isn't a meal. This kid can eat, but it'll be enough to turn him back into a reasonable version of himself, and then he can take care of the rest of his plate himself. Jam says no. I want him to get the slice himself so he learns accountability. So I hand Jam the plate and walk away. I felt a little sympathetic for the kid, but whatever. Jam then goes and gives Johnny the slice. He eats it and then gets up and goes by himself to get more food. I was like, okay, cool. Mission accomplished. The rest of the day was fine. Later, Jam calls me and tells me that I was wrong to intervene, that I put him in a position where he had to give him a slice. I said, okay, but what you were doing was not working, and giving him a slice worked. Jam said that wasn't the point, and that he wanted to set a boundary. When he was talking to a boy, specifically since he's a man, I shouldn't get involved. I was baffled. Ignoring the gender aspect, it isn't a boundary to tell me not to get involved with our cousin. That's a request, and one I declined. I'm free to point out if I think a dynamic in front of me is becoming harmful. Jam isn't his father. We're all cousins. A month later, it came up in conversation, and I said again, I am not agreeing to that. Today, Jam let me know that he's decided to take a step back from me because I disrespected him and his boundaries. If this were his child, that would be one thing, but I don't see how it's disrespectful for me to say no to that request. Am I the jerk? Yeah, OP's not the jerk here. Him saying, look, I'm gonna have to take a step back from you. You're not respecting me as a man and staying out of my man business. I mean, at that point, it should make you almost happy that they're taking a step back. Sorry that I, a woman, inserted myself into your man business and disrespected you so blatantly. Not quite the big bro cousin I would want around my kids. Bookie Nerdworm commented, that's not a boundary, and he doesn't have the right to set boundaries or rules for a kid that's not his anyway. Not the jerk. Our next story is, am I the jerk for snooping a chat I was excluded from? Hey, so this is my first ever Reddit post, so do excuse me if this is a bit badly formatted, but the title says it all. Bit of backstory first, just started college about a week ago and was able to make friends with a bunch of people that were all together on an admitted students Discord for the college. Now, I had started hanging out with them and things started off great, but as time progressed, it felt more and more awkward whenever I tried to get involved in the conversation, but being my usual self, I didn't give it a second thought. Until today, of course. Today, I was touring one of the people from the group's dorm, and I noticed that they had a private Discord chat open on their PC that had everybody in the group except for me. I also recall seeing a message in the group that said, ... do I have to be friends with this guy? The ... was in the message. I consulted my roommate, and they suggested that I confront them about it. So I messaged the leader of the group stating that I'd seen the message group and wanted to know what it was they disliked about me that would persuade them to exclude me. They instead, from my perspective, got defensive and said that it was impolite to snoop and that it didn't involve me. I can't help but feel like an over-paranoid girlfriend going through her boyfriend's phone. Am I the jerk? So, I can't fault OP for looking once they got there, but ultimately, I guess you could say OP is slightly at fault for snooping. Problem is, I know if I was there, I would be looking too. It's like if you were visiting a friend and you're in their room and they say, I'm gonna go use the restroom real quick, and you see in the corner of their room they've got this treasure chest that has a glowing gold light emanating from it. Would you not take a look and crack it open? I feel like I would take a bite from that apple too. Epidemi What 847 commented, everybody sucks here. Just because someone's Discord is open doesn't mean you have permission to read it. That being said, who invites someone to see their room and leaves their petty gossip chat about that person open? You couldn't pay me to be 18 again. This crap is so dumb. Find better friends, stay out of their stuff. OP responded commenting, thank you, and yeah, I'm not going to try to defend what I did. I will admit it was crappy. I get paranoid sometimes and overstep my bounds. Thanks. Our next story is, am I the jerk for not giving my parents loans at 16? Hey guys, so I'm 16. Over the last year, I've gotten myself a job and worked very hard at $13 an hour to save myself $9,000. My parents are split and my dad's living comfortably and decided to buy me a car, which was $2,000, meaning I still have my $9,000 in my bank. Mom has asked me for multiple loans over the year, including a $2,000 one, $1,500, $750, and now a $2,500 one, while she still owes $700 and is repaying roughly $100 per fortnight. She asked for the loan, and I replied, do I have to say yes? She then got upset, said she was going to bed. I texted, love you, and she replied saying something like, I don't think yous really care at all, and put a post on Facebook saying that technology and laziness has taken over. I work 2 8-hour shifts every weekend over the morning and day along with a Friday shift and also do sports on Thursdays. When I come home, there's nothing. No backyard, no lounge, only a TV and my Xbox, so obviously that's the only thing to do. If I ask to go to a friend's house, she complains, saying she's not good enough, so I never invite people over or go to their houses. She makes stupid financial decisions like buying a car she can't afford and then selling it 2 months later, buying a French bulldog and complaining she has no cash and owes people money, and then comes to me for my help, with repayments being the last of her priorities. She says I don't spend time with her, but there's nothing to do other than watch TV, and she goes on her phone. The money she asked for was to buy a lounge, which she sold for quick cash, and now wants to buy a new one, and wants my money, saying she'll repay me $100 per week, meaning I'll be repaid by January to February next year if she doesn't ask for another loan, which she definitely will around Christmas time. She also gets jealous that we enjoy being at Dad's house and that he's living comfortably, but she throws her life away making stupid financial decisions, saying she has no money but works minimal hours, and I know she gets plenty of cash from child support and Centrelink. Then she says we don't love her and comes begging for my money, which I worked so hard to save for, giving away every weekend and Friday to work for minimal wage. I feel like I'm the jerk because I have the cash, and it's true that I don't spend lots of time with her, but I guarantee I won't be paid back until a few months into next year if she doesn't ask for more and follows repayments. Am I the jerk for not giving her my money every time she asked, which I have done up until now, and not spending much time with her because of work, sports, and because there's nothing to do other than, as I said, watch TV, which is boring? So I think OP's not the jerk here. Ultimately, what they want to do with their hard-earned money is really up to them, especially if there's like wariness on whether or not you're actually going to see that money back to you. I will say, if they've historically been pretty good about getting the money back to you, even if it does take a while because of payments and whatnot, it might not be the worst thing to do the loan, but $2,500 is a lot of your $9,000. The second half, the not spending enough time with her, it's a two-way street. OP should go to her and say, look, I want to spend more time with you, but put the onus on her to come up with something and present something to do with her. I mean, here's the thing I've learned in my life. If you really want to spend time with a person, you kind of have to go out of your way to schedule and figure out the event yourself and present it to the person. Otherwise, I think you're going to be left wanting quite a bit. Emergency Front 4525 commented, "Not the jerk. That is your money, not hers. You earned it. Listen, friend, you've done something awesome here. You're setting yourself up for the future. I couldn't have done something like this at your age, so good job. Keep your money, make sure she does not have access to it, and don't feel bad, no matter how hard it is. Please do not let her steal from you." Spanky McFarland replied, "Agreed. You might have discovered why your parents split. You stand proud and hang on to your money. Lending money to family rarely ever works out." Our next story is, am I the jerk for purchasing a puppy? Owner couldn't look after, but now they're sending requests begging for him back. I want to refuse as he's absolutely perfect. As the title suggests, me and my partner have purchased a 7-month-old puppy from an online seller, but now they've asked for him back. This is after reconsidering the sale, as we set off to collect him before we eventually agreed, and then re-agreed, a time to meet and collect him. All this flip-flopping was emotionally exhausting, but we eventually got there with them and now have our perfect pup. This is his first full day, and it's been marred by this sudden message asking us to let him collect them as they miss him. I honestly don't want to, but I'm also a little angry that they even asked. Am I the jerk? Update: the seller has continued to harass my partner with messages about missing the pup and how their children are upset about the sale. This has included begging and also sending pictures of the children with the dog. My partner's worried about what they'll try to do, but I've assured her that we'll just stop responding and have raised it with the website as it's unacceptable, and we just want to enjoy what should be a very special day. So, I don't know what platform and everything this went down on, but generally, as far as all transactions go, it's kind of all sales are final. If the owner was really that flip-floppy about selling their dog and the fact that their children got so upset that they're begging and clawing to try to get them back, they really shouldn't have sold the dog in the first place. If anything, I would almost be afraid that this is like an attempted scam, or they got an offer from somebody else to pay more for the dog or something. Witty Help 1822 commented, "You purchased the puppy, he's yours. Don't respond and carry on. Get your puppy to the vet for records in your name and get him microchipped. TripCat3 replied, I would go as far as taking your new puppy to call an emergency vet to see if they do microchips, so you can establish ownership without having to wait for your vet to get back in the office Tuesday. God forbid these people try to come after your pup. Our next story is, Am I the jerk being blamed for an escaped and thankfully safely recovered pet? Earlier this evening, I stopped by my best buddy's house to drop off some food for him and his disabled mom, as well as some perfectly good clothes that no longer fit me. I show him the stuff, he shows me the progress on his project vehicle, we say our goodbyes, and I leave. Minutes later, he calls me up absolutely beside himself, screaming at the top of his lungs about how I need to freaking pay attention and be more aware of my surroundings, because somehow his dog slipped out the front door when I was getting stuff from my vehicle. I swore to him, honestly, that I never even saw his dog in the house, and that the only time I saw her was in the backyard. He then got even angrier, telling me that not only do I never pay any freaking attention to anything beyond what's right in front of me, but that now I won't even accept responsibility. When I again told him that I never even saw the dog in the house, he called me a freaking jerk that doesn't pay attention and told me to never talk to him again. He then hung up the phone in my face. I've been to his house countless times over the years, and I always made sure that the door was closed, if not fully shut, because he's always had dogs. I'm even the one who would block the doggy door to keep her from going outside while he was backing his vehicle in. The only thing that could have happened was her nosing or pawing the door open while I was getting stuff out of my vehicle. Normally, she's well trained and never leaves his driveway or front door threshold. Don't know why she booked it this time. When he didn't answer his phone, I immediately texted him and told him that I was coming back to help him look for her. He texted me back saying not to bother. He found her safe on the next block. He then said he didn't feel like talking. I said okay, but swore on my late parents that I only saw her in the backyard and never even saw her in the house, and that she must have nosed the door open or something. We haven't spoken since. When I told my other friend what happened, he said that my other friend was crazy and that it was his responsibility to watch his dog, not mine. He said that animals sometimes get out and that even his own dog escaped several times when he had company over, and he certainly didn't verbally attack his guests and blame them for it. When he feels like talking again, I know he's gonna roast me again over it. Not sure what to say. Am I the jerk here? Yeah, OP's not the jerk here. I personally have a dog who's a bit of an escape artist if given the chance, and that owner would almost certainly be well aware of that fact. If they know that their dog is an escapee, they should have made their friend well aware of it. They should have been watching their dog closely when doors are involved. Lord knows if anything like that happens in my place, I am making sure that I'm watching the door and watching the dog. I mean, the first words that come out of my mouth if somebody's coming over is, watch the dog, don't let them out. Karmabound commented, not the jerk, some dogs are escape artists. You sound like a caring friend. Dropping off clothes and food, and your friend, although worried at the time, shouldn't have unleashed his anger on you because his dog was smart enough to get out. Thank goodness she was found safe, but there's nothing more you can say after the fact except that. Our next story is, would I be the jerk? My boyfriend said he wants a DNA paternity test when we have a child one day. I, 25-year-old female, have been dating my boyfriend, 23-year-old male, for a year and a half now. He's had past relationship trauma from his exes cheating on him. I've never done anything to make him think that I would cheat, and he's agreed with that. We were driving home from dinner with my family the other day. He looked at me and said, I'm going to tell you something, but you have to promise you won't get mad. I agreed, and he went on to tell me, when we have a kid one day, I want to get a DNA paternity test done. He then went on to tell me it had nothing to do with me and that he was an overthinker and just wanted it on paper to know. I have taken great offense to this, and it severely affected the way I see our relationship now. We're not engaged, married, or pregnant. I found this to be very random and alarming with his trust issues being projected onto me. I think he's prioritizing his hypothetical fear over my dignity. Should I give up on the relationship now and move on to avoid being someone's emotional punching bag? Or am I not seeing the other side here? Well, generally, it's almost always going to be a bad sign if your partner or boyfriend or girlfriend or whatnot says, listen, can I tell you something? If you only promise to not get mad and not attack me and not think bad of me in any way, swear on your parents' grave. Honestly, I feel like this is one of those situations that's so bizarre that really I think you're valid if you feel one way or the other. I think you can absolutely take the road of, sure, there's going to be nothing to actually worry about. It's going to be yours. So is there much to actually freak out about besides, the cost of it? The other is also incredibly understandable, which is, I'm questioning my entire relationship with this person now. Can I withstand 20 plus years of having to reassure somebody to this degree? Loki Finn commented, 1. You don't get to make someone promise not to have an emotional reaction to something inflammatory. 2. Enabling anxieties makes them worse, not better. 3. You don't get to punish current partners for past partners' misdeeds. Be more cautious, sure, but striving for more control in order to compensate for being abused in the past is not a guarantee for a better relationship. In fact, it's more likely to result in another bad relationship. 4. If he doesn't get therapy to deal with his insecurities and need to control other people, this relationship will only go downhill from here. 5. If he doesn't commit to working on himself and provide proof of that, end it. But with that being said, that's all the time we have for today. Now, if you want to hear another absolutely crazy Am I the Jerk Here story, check out that video on the left. Or if you missed my latest video, check out that video on the right. That said, I'll see you all next time with some more stories.